Hello there, my dear Cancer. Welcome to your September 2015 Runescope with me. My name is Amanda. I'm just going to jump right in and see which runes want to talk to you for September of 2015. As always, do check out the video for your rising sign as well. If you know it, that can give you some additional information or clarify some things that may be a bit murky in this very general sun sign reading. Of course, the only way, as I always tell you, to get a reading only for you and any issues you may be tackling personally is to schedule a private consultation with me. I do those live on Skype. It's $65 for a 30-minute session. Just drop me a line at the email address in this video or below this video if you want to set up an appointment. It is runescopes4u@gmail.com. That's the number 4 and the letter U if you want to set that up. Also wanted to mention I will be conducting one final online rune class this year. That's going to run November 2nd through December 7th. And the deadline to sign up for that one is going to be October 29th at noon Eastern time. So if you want to sign up for that, if you haven't been able to do it, but you in any of the previous sessions, but you've been wanting to learn the runes, then definitely, actually, yeah, that does go there. Sorry. Then yeah, definitely just contact me at that same email address and let me know and we'll get you signed up. Also wanted to welcome all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't done so yet, you may want to go ahead and click the red subscribe button below this video. I'll also post a link to it somewhere in this video. Just make sure you're done watching this forecast before you click it because it will take you to the subscribe page. But that will notify you whenever I upload the monthly videos, so you don't have to go searching for it or go to the channel page. It'll come right to your notifications. So let's see, Cancer. Just kind of taking stock here and seeing what we got going on here. General energy. And if you hear chomping in the background, that is my girl cat eating her dinner. Your focus in September, Cancer, has to do with you may be looking for a new way of ensuring your financial stability. So this could be some of you looking for a job that pays better, looking for a home that is a better investment, because we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So, I mean, it could mean that you go into September feeling like things are a little unstable, feeling a little unsure about financial security, and feeling like whatever you have been doing is not working. You may be encountering a lot of delays, or maybe you've been keeping on, but you keep running into obstacles when it comes to financial things. And you may be like, well, what, am I supposed to change jobs? Am I not following my calling? What's going on here? So September may be a month where you're trying to figure out, why do I keep running into these huge expenditures? Or why do I keep feeling frustrated or like my energy is blocked in some way when it comes to financial things? Now, the 9 of Pentacles can also talk about your home life, specifically, also small animals or pets. So maybe you are... maybe you have an animal that's causing you some problems. And you may be like, what is wrong with this animal? Because, animals really don't do things out of spite. There's normally a health reason. So it could be that moving into September, maybe you've had some vet bills. Or maybe you've, been trying to solve the mystery of an animal illness. But mostly the 9 of Pentacles talks about your financial security. When it's in the reverse, you could feel like that's blocked in some way, or I keep working, but I can't ever purchase my dream home, or I'm never able to be promoted, so I have enough money to make my dream purchases or make my kingdom, my Cancer kingdom, exactly the way I want it. So I feel like you're going through a lesson when it comes to financial things, because need talks about, yeah, I have everything I need, but I don't have everything I want. Like, I don't have what, I feel like I'm kind of running in place and I'm never advancing. So you may be kind of moving into September, Cancer, focusing on that, thinking about that, trying to figure out, okay, do I need to change jobs? Do I need to go back to school? what do I need to do here to change this energy? Or is it going to change on its own? I feel like these are some of the questions that you are going into September with, and we'll see if we can get some answers for you here as we move along through. But for a lot of you, there may be, you have the blank rune here, and the blank rune talks about the power of fate. So what that tells me, with that coming up next to this, is that, you know, the phase you've been going through has been a necessary phase. So, I mean, it has been a lesson. It has been, you know, you learning how to maybe get by with just getting what you need instead of everything that you want. Or you know, maybe you've been in that phase of, you know, building things or building a foundation. And when you walk through this next level, or get to this next level, or walk through this next door, it will be like a whole new world. So whatever you're going through, it is karmic. It is part of the lessons you agreed to learn before you came here, before you incarnated in this life. It's part of your life path. Frustrating as it may be. That's kind of how you know you're dealing with a life lesson, by the way, is because it's frustrating. It's very frustrating, and it can just seem like an uphill battle. It can seem very difficult, but that's how you know, okay, what am I supposed to be learning from this? What do I do differently? And it's just kind of like, yeah, try mixing up that recipe. If you've always done things a certain way, try mixing it up a little bit. If you've been at the same job for years and it's not reaping any dividends, if you're always passed over for promotion, if you seem to put in more work than everyone else, but you don't get the recognition, then yeah, it may be time to get the heck out of it. Get the heck out of Dodge. Or change your work, or go back to school for something that you're really interested in. Maybe you're even working and doing a job that you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this for a living. I don't even really like that. I don't really enjoy this. Definitely not my soul calling. So maybe it's time to figure out what that is and go after it. It's never too late, Cancer. But yeah, what I have coming up is that many of you may just be dealing with family issues. This may not be anything financial at all, because this can also be a card of family and your little kingdom, as it were, your family, your people. You may be dealing with a situation where people are using you. Maybe they're taking advantage of you in some way. So, I mean, this is kind of the rune. This came up for another sign, but this can be the rune of the moocher. This could be the rune of someone who just takes, but they don't give. So maybe this is your child, an adult child still living at home, not with no prospects, not looking for any prospects. You know, this can be a sibling who never really makes much of an effort on their own behalf, just kind of expects a free ride or expects people to take care of them. And, you know, Cancer, maybe you are the one that feels taken advantage of. And it's time for you to say, no, I mean, you know, I've provided for your needs, but it's time for you to go out and make your own kingdom instead of mooching off of mine, because, you know, it's time for you to take the bull by the horns and go out and seize your own destiny. Cancer. So yeah, I mean, there may be a sense of definitely, maybe it's this being taken advantage of in some way, either at work or by someone who's kind of using you in some way, that wakes you up to the prospect of, okay, I need to get out of this job. I'm not appreciated here. They're just using me. They're using my skills. They're using my time. They're using my efforts, and I'm never rewarded for it. Others are, in fact, moving up based on my work, that sort of thing. And I think you have a real strong intuition about this anyway, with the High Priestess coming up here, Cancer, and also Legis, which is the rune of intuition, spirituality. This has been a spiritual lesson. And you know, Cancer, you can be very kind. You can be very giving. You're very much about home. You're very much about family and taking care of you and yours, giving them what they need. But I mean, everybody has their limit. I mean, at some point, everybody has to go out on their own and do for themselves. There's nothing wrong with helping someone out that you care about. But I mean, when it becomes a situation where, you know, they're not making any efforts on their own behalf to either, you know, at least make up for it or pay you back in some way. And not everybody can pay back monetarily, but they could, you know, like if it's somebody who's staying with you because they're down on their luck, they can cook, they can clean, they can do laundry. There's some way that they can kind of, you know, pay you back in some way. Do something that that at least then you don't have to worry about. If you're meeting their needs, if you're taking care of what they need to survive in some way, giving them a roof over their head, giving them food, things like that. So, I feel like intuitively you've known for quite some time that maybe this person was taking advantage of you and not putting any effort into standing on his or her own 2 feet. And September may be the month where you got to take a stand here, Cancer. You've got to kind of call this person out and be like, okay, look, and you don't have to kick them out or anything, but I would give them a deadline for sure. I can only keep doing this because you're draining my finances. You're like, I am not a charity. I am not a nonprofit where, I can afford to just keep throwing money into you or spending money on you. September may be a month where you need to give a moocher a deadline, Cancer. Or give yourself a deadline if it's a work situation and be like, okay, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I'm going to have a new job by this date. And start looking in September. Some of you may have even started looking in August. And don't be discouraged. Don't lose heart if maybe there haven't been a lot of opportunities, because Venus has been retrograde for all of August, but she turns direct in September, early September. I believe it's around the 6th. And Venus does rule money, job offers, all of that stuff. It's really, really hard to get ahead financially when Venus is in retrograde motion. So don't let August discourage you, because it's not the way it's going to be in September when it comes to money and opportunities. So just keep that in mind, Cancer. If August was not all that encouraging, or if maybe it made you feel even more at a standstill or more blocked, it is probably due to that, especially on the financial front, due to Venus being retrograde. Venus retrograde is not good for relationships either. So there may have been conflict with people close to you. And it may have been centered around, what I'm doing versus what you're doing. And, somebody who's not compromising or doing enough, Cancer, based on what you feel like you're giving. I just feel like you're being sucked dry. Maybe not only in financial things, but also emotionally. Because it's draining dealing with somebody who will make no effort on their own behalf. Now, the help that's going to be available to you, I do feel like whatever was a struggle, this is just kind of confirming what was coming up about August. Whatever was a struggle or a fight or very, very competitive in August, there's going to be huge advancement in September. Now, this can also be a rune of travel. It can be a rune of moving. But it can also just be a symbolic of advancing forward. So if you've been struggling about a decision to leave something, to make a big shift or change, leave a job, move house, take a big trip, tell someone to get the heck out and get their own place. If you were struggling with that, or if there were maybe a lot of verbal disagreements, verbal arguments in a situation, previously, in September, you're going to see that these start to pay off. These situations that have felt stuck or worrisome or just everything was a fight, everything was an argument. That's what the 5 of Rods can feel like. You'll find in September that they start moving forward in leaps and bounds. What felt like you were moving through muck in September will move forward very quickly. And yes, what can't be changed has to do with you recouping or somehow solidifying your financial security, getting it back or improving it, and cutting loose any dead weight. Cutting loose something that was taking rather than giving with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. This means getting it back, recouping something that was an expenditure, and not allowing people to continue to take advantage of you, view you as, again, just a charitable giver. That your house or your money is meant to support others who are not doing anything for themselves. So yeah, lazy people, Cancer, in September, gotta go. And if it's at work, I feel like, you may be speaking to someone about this. You maybe, if you are the boss or somebody in charge of a project, and maybe before you've been kind of lighter with it, you're going to be a lot heavier handed in September, and that's going to get you the results that you want. And I do think that if you keep looking for a new position, if you want to leave where you are September, you could get a very good job offer in September. So yeah, if it was tough in August, you could be speeding ahead in September with a new gig, Cancer. There may be a few more arguments though. I mean, again, I do feel like, but whatever happens with that, those are necessary. Like maybe you need to vent, Cancer. Maybe you've been very kind of closed-mouthed about it. Whoever this is taking advantage of you. You've tried to be understanding. You've tried to hold back and not say anything. Well, you know, you may just reach the end of your rope in September. And somebody may just say the wrong thing to you at the wrong time, either in a work or family sense, and that is it. Maybe that's the day you decide that you're done. You know, I feel like there may be a lot of gossip going on. Maybe you're afraid of gossip. Maybe you're afraid of maybe taking a heavy-handed approach or reporting someone to the boss for not doing their work or letting you do their work for them and taking credit for it. There's something like that where you may be afraid that if you do that, they'll be talking behind your back, but who cares? With the Eight of Pentacles, that shows that whoever the higher-ups are, they know that, you know, they will then know that you're the one doing all the work. You're the one with the attention to detail. You're the reason that this project maybe was staying on track or that it got completed in the first place. So it's time for things that are hidden to come out here, Cancer. Anything that maybe if you've been protecting someone else, if they've been slacking off or not doing what's expected of them and you've been kind of covering for them, or it's time for that to end in September. And yeah, job, looking for a new job, a new position, anything that you want to change about your work experience, Cancer, you can make a lot of strides with that in September. So if you've been putting off leaving, definitely keep looking in September, or start looking in September, because I feel like there's going to be, for a lot of you, a great new opportunity that calls on skills you already have, where you would be more, you know, a company where you would be more recognized for your efforts. And I feel like for a lot of you that this is not even on your agenda. You're not even aware of this until September. Now, some of you may in September, let's say you go to your boss and maybe, you know, just say, you know, so-and-so hasn't been doing their job, or they've been showing up late or slacking off, and I've been covering for them for a long time, but I just thought it was time to tell you that I'm really tired of, you know, this happening, and I want it to stop. You may then kind of get news from your boss that, well, you know, you may not have to deal with this anyway, because you know, there's going to be a new position. There may be something opening up. You may get kind of a heads up from a boss or a higher up in your company, Cancer, in September, that your name has been thrown around for a position that may be, maybe has not been posted or won't be posted until either end of September or maybe even October. But you may have reason to hope that you have a good shot at this, or maybe even be told that, you know, you're kind of a shoo-in for a position. So, yeah, I feel like those of you who, if you've been passed over for promotions in the past and you are in a situation where somebody else is taking credit, maybe your boss doesn't realize everything that you've done, you might want to give them one last shot and just say, look, I just really kind of feel unappreciated. I've been, you know, I've kind of thrown my hat in the ring for a few promotions, but I haven't been. So you know, I'm really starting to get discouraged. Just wondering if there's anything coming down the pike. Thought I'd give you guys one more shot. But otherwise I may have to look elsewhere, because I just, you know, I want to work somewhere where I feel like I'm being appreciated and compensated appropriately for the amount of work that I do. So yeah, Cancer, if you approach it in that way, and you know, if you feel like you can talk to your boss or talk to someone in management about it, and if you don't really want to leave where you are, it seems like you could improve your situation, and by cutting off any dead weight, and then, you know, definitely having a conversation. But yeah, if you get a response to where somebody's patronizing you or like not taking you seriously, it may be time to move on. Some of you may already know that I'm just done with this place. Then look for work in September, because I do feel like that there's going to be something that may not even be up when you're watching this video, but maybe posted at the end of August, even early September, that you're like, oh, that's the perfect position for me, or that's exactly the kind of work that I want to do. And it does seem to build on skills for most of you that you already have, that you already have acquired. So it doesn't seem like you would need to go to school or need any further training for whatever this is. So that is what I see, Cancer. I do hope that was helpful. Good luck in September, and I'll see you back here in October.